Cowboy Bebop. Angels banished from heaven have no choice but to become devils. Vicious.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Created by Hajime Yatate, directed by Shinichiro Watanabe. Cowboy Bebop was released in 1998 with just a few episodes before its full worldwide exposure in 1999. Consisted of 26 episodes or so-called sessions, the anime was a one-season experiment that mixed various topics and genres, from westerns and sci-fi to morality and existentialism. This anime broke the standards of what animation could be at the time, not only in the technical part, but also in the storytelling one. Whatever happens, happens. Spike Spiegel. The man in love, the experienced one, the one out of its time, the pure of heart, and the loyal one. This is the crew of the so infamous Bebop, a band of misfits in search of bounties to satisfy their hunger for food. That's the beauty of this show. Every episode consists of catching someone so they can fill up their bellies. But they either fail, or the bounty itself is not good enough, or they just decide to go off the rails and don't claim it. At the end, this is nothing more than a mechanism for the story to carry on. Not every episode is about a bounty, of course. It may seem that some of them have no purpose, but rest assured that the entire 26 sessions are worth it, because they want to tell you a unique little tale from our characters. We can go from laughing the whole time like in session 17th, Mushroom Samba, where they create some questionable mushrooms and get high as fuck, so Eddie's in charge and show us how good as a bounty hunter alongside Ayn they can be. We can go from that to start questioning ourselves upon what life really means, as in session 23rd, Brain Scratch, where we see the man involved in debunking a non-existent being that raises the questions of what God is, loneliness and selfishness. And also, it can make us sob for its 22 minutes, such as Jupiter Jazz, the real folk blues, but especially session 24th, Hard Luck Woman. Ed and Ain's departure is just one of the saddest moments I've experienced in any media. All of this to say that the story is well built up. They don't show much, but what they choose to show has an impact in the spectators, making us feel part of the Bebop. It's funny how much they can make us care for 5 individuals when they don't explain much of them. It's the kind of bittersweet story that you wish you would want more, but then realize that it is perfect as it is. And what a good batch of names they decided to call the sessions, taking inspiration in a lot of famous bands such as the Rolling Stones, David Bowie, and of course Queen. Ordinary, the kind of beautiful, dangerous ordinary that you just can't live alone. Faye Valentine. The music is made by the great one and only Yoko Kanno. Come on, Mai. She even created a jazz band called the Seatbelts to compose the score of the anime, taking inspiration from the big names of music from the time, and adding tons of jazz as well as blues. Yoko masterly crafted a score that redefined how important for the story music can be. She gave us ballads, rock anthems, and tons of melancholy. Its importance throughout the show is so prominent that almost every session has its own identity because of the songs they put on them. No surprise, the album of Cowboy Bebop was released like 5 times, with remixes, live presentations, and even new songs we didn't even hear in the original show. Gems like The Soul of the Tank, Rush, The Real Folk Blues, and my favorite, Blue, take you to an intimate place where you and only you are existing along these characters. That's just magic. I have no fear of death. It just means dreaming in silence, a dream that lasts for eternity. Vincent. Shinichiro Watanabe got the chance of being the only director for this show, and he made it his since moment one. With entire creative control at his side, we can tell this work was made not only by a great director, but also by a great team of animators. The show holds up very well till this day, aging like fine wine. Of course, some parts of the characters' expressions may seem weird, but for being a work from 1999, it keeps itself pretty good. Every fight, every little conversation, every action is correctly animated. That delivers a high quality product. Fluid, colorful, dark, gloomy. The art style gives us the chance to pause at any moment and stare amazed by the puzzles this show presents. I couldn't resist myself from feeling delighted by how many times I was with my jaw on the floor by seeing these cities, these ships, these people, these planets, this galaxy come to life thanks to the art style and animation. Tell me, why do you think people believe in God? Because they want to. It's not easy living in such an ugly, corrupt world. People are lost, so they reach out. God didn't create humans. No, it's humans who created God. Dr. Landis. Mars, Earth, Ganymede, Europa, year 2071. These are the main locations and time the show is set in. It doesn't bother in doing basic exposition of what are the technological advances, or how they managed to conquer other planets, if there are any aliens, or what the hell is going on in that moment. Cowboy Bebop decides to go straight up to the action, making these events explain the where, how, and when we are. Sure, it may be confusing to understand the rules of this world, but at the end, we stop trying to figure it out and we go down the current with it. Cowboys, pirates, poverty, interdimensional travel, cryogenic devices, all of this made me question myself. Humans conquer Mars, but they keep fighting with normal guns and knives. That's the beauty of it. This anime is as futurist as it is outdated. From moments I thought I was watching Blade Runner, then I would reckon it's the good, the bad and the ugly. And in some way, all of it works at the same time. Because you're no longer trying to understand. Now you're in it. That's why I found the world building of this show amazing, for its simplicity. Men only think about the past right before their death, as if they were searching frantically for proof that they were alive. Jet Black. Spike Spiegel is not only the protagonist of the story. Literally, the action sequences are made for him to look cooler. He's a man in love that looks tiredness for the woman of his life, Julia. So maybe they can get a happy ending at last. Fearless, intrepid, as well as a bit arrogant, we learn sadly that Spike is destined to be vicious, but also he's destined to transform the lives of the ones he's surrounded with. Jet Black, the captain of the Bebop, the old man of the group who's ready to kick asses as well as to tell you a good old story. Grumpy with a big heart, yet has lost so much, suffered so much, that the only thing he wants is his close ones to be fine, even if the hardest choice is to let them go. Faye Valentine, the so-called woman with attitude, is as beautiful as she is relentless in combat. She just wants one thing, to know who she is. Her past is a mystery for both the character and the public, so when we get to know her tragic story, we see a new Faye, one who finally can move on and create a future without looking back, realizing that what really matters is the people you are with. Edward Van Hau Pepelu Dvorowski IV, or her real name, Françoise Appledeli. She is the representation of innocence from the group, funny, relaxed, and the best hacker. Ed would give anything for the group. Such a weird character that we cannot not care for her. Always a nomad, She managed to get to the heart of the crew. Nonetheless, as she's the only one who's pure, hasn't killed anyone, hasn't sinned. Her destiny is to live the Bebop so she can build up a greater future away from the guns, death and sadness. Ein, valuable for only 2 euros. He is the brain of the group, the most intelligent, loyal character from all. This little dog is always there to help its friends, willingly to risk its own life for them. Sadly, Ein decides to leave the Bebop with Ed, so both can back up each other no matter what. These 5 individuals are so different that they need each other to exist. The ending of each suits who they are. Some leaving, some staying, and some of them finding out whereas they were alive, or if it was just a dream. Their development throughout the anime is messy, but satisfying, thanks to the excellent writing, as well as some other great characters, such as Vicious, Elijah Gu, Punch and Jody, the 3 old men, Annie, are some examples of how every character has a meaning in the story, helping each other to be something else.
Do not fear death. Death is always at our side. When we show fear, it jumps at us faster than light. But if we do not show fear, it casts its eye upon us gently, and then guides us into infinity.
So, taking inspiration from the greatest names and films from cinema, such as Akira Kurosawa, Star Wars, the spaghetti westerns from Eastwood, Reservoir Dogs, Goodfellas, Watanabe accomplished his goal of making Cowboy Bebop relevant for culture 3 decades after its release, giving us a piece of entertainment that is so unique for combining and creating so many elements in one whole picture. I assure you that this anime is an experience that every lover of entertainment must watch. Spike Spiegel, Jet Black, Faye Valentine, Ed, and Ein show us that we don't have to be alone, even if we are lost, looking for answers of who we are, seeking the impossible to make it possible, forgiving ourselves, accepting what we are. We all belong somewhere, and it is up to us to decide where, what, and with who we want to be. We are free of doing anything. It's up to us to see if we want to let the past go, or find out if we were ever alive. See you, Space Cowboy.
Bang.